the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950.
It is cold, but it is a beautiful night for the beautiful game here at McQuaid Jesuit High School as McQuaid hosts Fairport in the AA Semifinal in boys soccer here in Monroe County. I am Bill Smith. With me, Sean Mullen. Sean, we have a just tremendous game coming to us tonight. These are two really, really strong teams. This is big kid soccer. This is AA soccer in Monroe County. This is not little peewees. This is not the little ones. We got big kid soccer coming at us, and playoff soccer is the best soccer. And if 2020 is going to continue being 2020, it's great that these kids get a playoff experience.
Not only do they get a playoff experience, but they get to play each other again in the sectionals. Last year, a classic game. Went down to the wire, 2 overtimes, wasn't solved there. Penalty kicks, Fairport advances, but they're called co-champions. So once again, these two teams meet in sectionals. They're familiar with each other. They played each other the past couple of years. We'll see how it goes tonight.
A big rematch from a classic that Mr. Mullen just referenced, last year's PK finish, sending Fairport on into the state tournament. I don't think this is a revenge game of sorts. This is a new season. This is a different team. This is versus a different team. This is new stuff. But that adds such a story to tonight's game. Now, keys for tonight. These are two very, very high-scoring teams. But in speaking with the Fairport coaching staff, Coach T talked to me about finishing his scoring opportunities. That's a big one. When they get those chances, when they get the ball in deep, when they get the ball over the top, they get it to their playmakers. And they have got some, as a coach that I spoke to in Section 5 today, an opposing coach, Hilton's own Mike Ellicott, as he referred to Jude Ruhana and Miles Palmer, both as silky soccer players. And I cannot wait to watch these two fellas tonight. Mike Ellicott has a lot of respect for these two fellas. Getting the ball deep to those playmakers, this is something that Fairport is going to want to do tonight, punch the ball in. Now, keys for McQuaid. You and I were talking a little bit before with one of the McQuaid players. the key to this team, the key to this whole season, and this is a high-scoring team, but the key to this team is defense.
Absolutely, and in coaching and talking to Coach Nino Pilato, it starts with the defense, and they work from the defense forward. And behind the defense is a sophomore goaltender, Ryan Ruffin, who on the season has 41 saves and only 5 goals allowed. And so they're patient. What does that mean? They're patient. They wait for the opportunities, and then they seize on those opportunities. You talk about how evenly matched these two teams are. If you read Picking Splinters, you'd notice both teams have scored 28 goals this season. McQuaid has allowed 7, Fairport's allowed 10. So something's going to have to give tonight as we find out in the next couple hours who's going to win.
These are two high-scoring teams of some high firepower on both sides. Coach Pilato talked to us about how McQuaid's plan, a game plan maybe throughout the whole season, is to get the ball out from the defense, get it to their attackers, get it to where the ball can go toward the front of the net. Our starting lineup's getting announced right here at our side. We will run through these real quick for you. Tonight for the Fairport Red Raiders, in goal, the senior Ben Douglas. His defense in front of him, Kevin Clifford, Noah Buys, Colin Strack. The middies tonight for Fairport, you've got a senior, Blake Patacci. You've got another senior, Jude Ruhana, the silky playmaker we talked about before. Aiden Fish, another senior. Another midder, Garrett Kuchera. And then the forwards tonight for Fairport, Caden Brunken, Miles Palmer, Brady Jones. There is your Fairport lineup, coached by Bill Teasdale. His assistant is Mr. Mark Fish. Tonight for McQuaid, the goaltender, the aforementioned sophomore, having a great campaign, Ryan Ruffin. In front of him, his defense, you've got Justin Carl, a senior. You've got Sam Colapret, another senior. You've got young man, Jake Leone, and Henry McDonald. The middies tonight for McQuaid, Andrew O'Hearn, Elliot Aguirre, Grayson Alkins, and then the forwards, Andrew O'Neill, Wilson Brower, and there is your lineup. Nino Pilato coaches the McQuaid Knights. He's assisted by Chris Brugger, Steve Vassbinder, and Nick Breidenbaugh. We will stop right now for the pledge of the Star Spangled Banner. These are two experienced teams. These are two teams who are among the best in Monroe County. We do have that history. We do have that playoff game that looms over all of this from last year. This is a fresh start for all these kids.
Absolutely, and two teams that should be fresh given the shortened season. They haven't played a ton of games. They haven't played a lot of minutes, so you're going to see guys that are overly fresh, even though it is 39 degrees and it is the 16th of November, which I think this might be the latest we've ever seen a game here on Tom Seymour Field on the campus of McQuaid Jesuit. It's cold and it's brisk, and I feel bad for those kids that are wearing shorts right now, but they're out there ready to play, ready to win the advance to the finals here. This is for a trip to the finals.
These are high school kids in their semifinal. Those fellows out in shorts, I'm sure they're not feeling a thing. They're ready to go. A couple of interesting quirks from Friday night. Both these teams obviously winning their quarterfinal matchup. Wilson Brower
with a hat trick.
the other night, scoring 3 goals in there, the win for McQuaid. And on the other side of it, for Fairport, in their win, Caden Brunken also with a hat trick. So we've got 2 teams that really can put the ball in the net here.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said before the anthem there, both teams have scored 28 goals. And converse to that, both teams have not let up a lot of goals. Fairport only letting up 10, and McQuaid letting up 7.
Fairport's 4 losses on the year, all very close. Their biggest loss this year was only by 2 goals. They have 3 one-goal losses. This is a Fairport team that can score a lot, and when they get in trouble, it's low scoring. We are underway now from McQuaid, booted by the Knights downfield, header from the Red Raiders at midfield, and then controlled here in front of us by McQuaid. Sent through, trying to find Wilson Brower, but couldn't get through. Kicked back to midfield. Both teams fighting for it. We have a whistle as Elkins look to get free. Fairport will play the ball from about midfield.
So Fairport in this first half is playing with the wind, as the wind typically on this field blows west to east. So they have the wind advantage, and it is windy looking at the American flag to our left.
Strack sent a long 50-yard kick that went out of bounds just past the goalkeeper over that way. Nyan Ruffin. Ruffin will put one in here for McQuaid. Part of my scouting report I got from Hilton's own Coach Ellicott. Fairport likes to get the ball deep, likes to throw it over the top and get their playmakers into space. That was already the attempt right there, just a few seconds into this game. Played along the far side from our position, punched through midfield. An attempt there from Brunken. Brunken lost it. Now it's played by McQuaid off to the side. McDonald's pass goes to the side, and it's kicked out of bounds. We will have a throw in. Already a couple of long attempts, but a couple stoppages here as we get going. Throw in by the Red Raiders. Into play. Long throw. Gets headed right back to where it came from. Controlled down there by Clifford. He sees a ball go off a McQuaid player. They'll throw in one more time, Fairport.
You can already see early how McQuaid's going to rely on their defense. They're going to be patient. They're not pushing the pace, where conversely you see Fairport pushing a little bit more.
Those are the styles we talked about at the top of all of this. We'll see how this all goes in the next couple hours here, gang. Carl sends one that kind of pokes out of bounds right in front of us. We'll get a throw in right in front of us from Blake Patachi. He'll play right in front of us. Goes off a McQuaid foot. That's Elkins. Elkins plays it off to Aguirre. Aguirre through midfield. Switching sides. Here comes McQuaid. Sent into the corner, looking for space for O'Neal. O'Neal trying to get around the defender. Fighting up there. Now it's taken from him by the Fairport defender, and it does go across the touchline. We'll get a ball for the Fairport goalie. First time we've said his name tonight, Ben Douglas, the senior. And as I say that, he actually gives it to his defender, who will send the ball into play. Long drive toward midfield, sent right back in by McDonald for McQuaid. Now along the side, coming free is O'Hearn. O'Hearn trying to get around a defender, but he gets the ball taken off of his foot. Sent wide. Here come the Red Raiders up the right wing. Control the midfield. Turning and finding his man is Brunken. Brunken gets it through. Trying to find Ruhana. Nice little move by Aguirre to stay on it. Aguirre and Ruhana is a matchup I want to watch tonight. Sent through midfield and sent a long, low shot along the ground there. Set near the sideline. Controlled on the far side by Elkins. Now McQuaid bringing it in, trying to find it into the corner. Looking for some space one more time for Brower. Brower trying to get around defender. A lot of Fairport shirts down there.
It's the second time McQuaid's gone down that right side there. As they throw it in here on that right side again, you wonder how much they're going to favor that tonight.
Throw-in will come by McQuaid. Long toss gets headed down by a Fairport player. Booted up in the air, taken down by Elkins. Headed right back toward the box. Both teams trying to get a ball in play here. Sent into the box. There's a header out of there by the Fairport defender. Down there, that was Strack. Now controlled in midfield. Booted right back in by Justin Carl. Sent right back high in the air out to midfield. Header knocked down by Brady Jones. Now off a Fairport player as Carl tried to get it out of there. He'll throw it in. Quickly, Carl lobs one up in the air, trying to find his man right there. That's O'Hearn. O'Hearn sees it bounces, controls it off his chest, but now it's fought out by Patoki. Bringing it in is O'Hearn. O'Hearn looking around, gets kicked away, long away by a Fairport defender. McQuaid will throw it in. Patachi. Young man, I apologize if I butchered that a couple of times. We'll get that right. Patachi. Played in. Now controlled one more by McQuaid. Pressing once again. Alkins finds his man. Now into the corner. Looking to get it into the middle. There's a Fairport defender right there. Sent away by Kuchera. Now sent easily into the chest of Ben Douglas. He will get the ball out of there.
Good pressure by McQuaid early here. We talked in the front about the defense, but it looks like their offense is ready to roll tonight.
Coming right back, McQuaid very quickly. To Sean's point, they are right on it right here. Header into the box.
Fairport player knocked down there. No call.
Ball across the touchline. It'll be Douglas's once again. A lot of pressure from McQuaid early in this one.
Yeah, and as we said at the top, it's something that Nino Palao didn't hang his hat on, but again, 25 goals on the season. They know how to find the back of the net. 28 goals, I should say.
Long line drive to midfield. Fighting for it down there. Fairport's Ruhana tries to send it through, but now it's back for the McQuaid defense once again. They will send it out. Played forward down there by Aguirre. Into the corner once again. McQuaid looking for space. Stopping, sending it in. Knocked away by a Fairport defender. Trying to turn the corner, sends it inside, looking for his man. He's got him. There's a shot off a defender's leg. Patachi stops one.
Fairport's looking for the offsides there. It was pretty close, but McQuaid will go with the corner kick here.
First corner of the game goes McQuaid's way. We got 33 and change here to play. No score yet from McQuaid. Long ball into the box, caught out of the air by Douglas. He'll throw it down real quick, and here comes Fairport back real fast the other way. Played through midfield by Palmer. Tries to find his man. Looking to get through the Fairport offense, but they can't get through that McQuaid defense. McQuaid comes back through the middle. Alkins once again. He tries to send one deep, and now Fairport's defense controls, and they'll send it out. Sails over the head of Carl, who's chasing down there with Fairport's Brady Jones. Coming in to help is Leone. And it goes out of bounds. McQuaid will send it away with goalie Nyan Ruffin. Ruffin, the sophomore, having a great season. He puts a foot into one, sends it out toward midfield. A couple of bodies down there, headed out of the air. McDonald goes and knock it down for McQuaid. Now battled midfield, comes free. Whistle in the middle. Fairport will have control of it. Ball will be sent away by Colin Strack. Ball sent long down and just wide. There's that long over-the-top ball that Fairport likes to play.
A beautiful, beautiful kick there. Just, as you said, a little wide left, but a good chance for Fairport there from midfield.
Kevin Clifford getting everything he had into that one. That ball went 60 yards on a rope. Sent toward the middle, knocked out of the air with a head by Palmer. Headed back the other way by Colapret for McQuaid. Now trying to come free. Here come the Red Raiders. Putting a move on, trying to get around. Couldn't quite do it as Ruhana. Now headed through midfield by Brower. And a call midfield. Another little bit of pushing and shoving going on. Once again, it'll be Fairport's ball. Brower in the middle of that. Not happy with the call, but Fairport will get a direct kick.
don't know if I've ever met an athlete who's been happy with a call that goes against him or her.
I cannot counter that. Played long ball, heads way up. I believe that was wide left of the goalpost there from Ruhana. The American football goalpost, the ones in question. Ruffin will put one in here for McQuaid as we continue on. Long ball to midfield, headed out of the air by the McQuaid midfielder. Trying to control it backwards was McDonald. It's controlled by a Fairport player. Now sent through midfield once again.
We do have a whistle here.
Fairport again on the receiving end of a direct kick. Pitachi and Clifford right there. I would assume Clifford's going to put another right foot into one here. Me saying the words I assume might mean I'm wrong, but it looks like I'm right. Clifford sends one long toward the goal, knocked down and saved. Second chance also controlled. Now they put it in. They score. Couple of rebound chances, and Fairport gets on the board first. Punched into the net by 11. Brady Jones, says the magic voice to my left. Couple of rebounds there. Jones cashes in. Fairport's up 1-0.
Yeah, it looked at originally, looking at the play, it looked like
First.
Ruffin had it and then simply lost it. And in the scrum there, Fairport was able to capitalize and punch it through.
Brady Jones's first goal of the season gets Fairport on the board first.
Fairport goal scored by number 11, Brady Jones, his first of the season.
Throw in by Fairport right in front of our position. Knocked down by Andrew O'Hearn. Now sent up the right side by Fairport. Sprinting. Here comes Jones. He's looking for two. Ball goes over the touchline. It'll be played in by Leone.
So we'll see how McQuaid responds here. They haven't been down much this year with an undefeated record and one tie. They haven't been playing. I mean, they're not used to playing from behind. So we'll see how they respond here early on in the first half.
Alkin sends it into space for O'Neal. O'Neal can't quite catch it. Ball goes across the touchline. It will be McQuaid's ball. Throw-in will come deep in the Fairport third. 1-0 Fairport. Still early in this one. 10 minutes in. The goal came. We're 12 minutes in now. Throw-in comes from McDonald. Lobs one toward the net. A couple of Fairport defenders off their heads. It'll get punted out of bounds, and McQuaid will throw it in one more time. McDonald once again heaves one into the box. Fairport defender knocks it out of there. Attempted to head back in there. Bunch of bodies fighting for it. Trying to get control is O'Hearn. Now it comes through the middle. Finding it into space is Ruhana. Ruhana trying to get around a defender along the left wing. He puts a nice move, gets through. Played back to midfield by Palmer. Now sent in off of Ruhana's foot. He sends a one-touch over to Palmer. Now controlled by Fish. Here's Fish coming around. He gets a defender to knock it away.
We have a McQuaid player down there, still on the 30-yard line.
Sam Colapret appears to be down for McQuaid. Hope that young man's okay.
He's a senior defensive midi, part of Coach Pallato's stout defensive line there.
He stays on. Throw-in gets kicked right back out of bounds. Fairport will throw in one more time. Long lobbing throw-in into the box. Goes right in, and it's headed into the goal. Fairport scores again. Running right to our position, the goal scorer, number 3, Caden Brunken. He of the hat trick just the other night.
Fairport goal, his 7th of the season, scored by number 3, Caden Brunken.
You have a very visually upset goaltender from McQuaid, Ryan Ruffin. Down 2 goals already. This young sophomore hasn't had this type of pressure before. You wonder how he's going to respond.
2 quick ones, just 3 minutes apart, 2 and change, I should say, for Fairport, and they're up 2-0 here. We got a lot of soccer left. We're not even halfway through this first half of play.
But Fairport's taken advantage. They've been opportunistic, and they've scored on a direct kick and then a throw in there.
Trying to find some space on the far side from our position was Andrew O'Neill, but the ball goes out of bounds. Fairport will throw it in. Two nothing your score. Fairport on top. As Sean has said, this is not a position McQuaid has been in a lot this season, being down, especially down 2. Sent deep. Here comes Brady Jones. He gets a ball taken from him by Justin Carl. Ryan Ruffin will just boot one out of bounds.
Interesting kick there, just kicking it straight out of bounds, not upfield.
Throw-in will come very close to the corner down here for Fairport.
It's actually, it looks like it's going to be a
It is a corner kick. Corner coming from Fairport into the box. Header goes straight up in the air, still right there. Dangerous spot, headed down and past the net, out of bounds.
Fairport keeping that pressure on. They're looking to put this one away early.
Ball bounces over a couple guys and out to midfield. Touched in down there by Brady Jones. There's Jones once again coming around a defender. Off a McQuaid foot. Down there, that's O'Hearn. Jones will throw it in. Jones will give it to Patachi, who will throw it in. Ball goes off a McQuaid foot and right out of bounds. We'll get another throw in real quick.
McQuaid started out real aggressive on offense, had a couple of scoring opportunities, and ever since then it's been all Fairport.
Blake Patachi over the top. Headed by a McQuaid player. Controlled. Nice touchdown there by Ruhana.
We're going to have another corner kick.
This will be Fairport's second of the game. Both teams spreading very wide on this one. Corner kick coming into the box, headed way up in the air. Ball still down there and taken. Goalie. Ryan Ruffin took a shot in there as the ball came in. Kid gets up. He's shaking it off. He will send the ball away. Young sophomore gets into one, sends it out to midfield. Headed midfield by Aguirre. Controlled by Rahana. Rahana into space, trying to find into space. Nice defensive play by Justin Carl. Patachi sends it wide. Here's Jones once again. Jones trying to get around the defender there. Now it's sent right back. Bending.
A lot of English
clearing,
on that one.
A lot of English on that one. Bending a time from Ruffin. Found its way all the way to Ruhana. Here comes McQuaid through midfield. Couple of nice touches. Space developing down here for Andrew O'Hearn. O'Hearn gets the ball kicked away from him. McQuaid will get a throw in front of us. Justin Carl will get a couple of hands into this and lob one in. More of a line drive. Ball pops toward the box. Another physical play from the McQuaid side gives Fairport the ball. To this point, we've seen most of these calls go against McQuaid.
We have a stoppage in play here. Looks like Nyan Ruffin is down on a knee, the McQuaid goalkeeper.
Possibly still feeling the effects of that contact from a few minutes ago.
I think he's been hit a couple times. On that first goal there, he was in the middle of it, and then the other corner kick, and then this last one, he really got hit pretty hard before being able to make the save. So we'll see if the young kid can stay in the game or if they're going to have to go to their backup.
I just got done making the point that away from the goal boxes, it's been McQuaid who's had a couple of calls go against him. It's been Fairport that's gotten the direct kicks. But down at this end, it's been real physical in front of that young goaltender.
It sure has. Fairport hasn't let up at all. And Ruffin is going to come out of the game.
He's being brought out, and I would imagine that means the senior Nick Wood's going to be going in.
Now in goal for McQuaid, number 1, Nick Wood.
So interesting story on Nick Wood. Nick is actually the place kicker for the McQuaid football team. But with there being no season this year, Nick decided to try out and join the soccer team in goal. So we'll have to see. Let's see if he gets a ball his leg here.
Love to see that turnaround here. Played through the middle. Here come the Knights trying to find some space along the right side. Nice little move to get it inside. A lot of Fairport defenders down there, but still pushing the McQuaid Knights into the box. Turn. Saved down there by the defender. Off the crossbar. Ball is still down there. Now attempted to head it away, but McQuaid back in control. Here comes O'Hearn. O'Hearn trying to make a play around that corner. Ball out of bounds. McQuaid will keep possession.
I don't know what defender that was from Fairport, but he made a great save to keep the Knights off the board there.
Popped out by a defender off the crossbar. A couple of nice chances there for McQuaid. Ball into the box. Turning around, trying to get a foot into one. Can't quite find it is O'Neill. Ball will squirt over to the goaltender Douglas, and he'll get it out of there.
It's definitely McQuaid's best opportunity of the night. I'm playing with a little bit more sense of urgency right now, it seems like, even though we're still early on. Almost 20 minutes into this first half.
Now ball long shot into the box, but it makes its way all the way to Douglas. Sent to midfield. Bounces over Troy Leo down there. Elkins tries to control, fighting for the midfield. Elkins comes free, sends it back to his defender. Booted this way, long and out of bounds by McQuaid. Fairport will throw it in right in front of us. Chasing it down in front of us, Pataki. There's a header way up in the air by Brunken. Elliot Aguirre controls, puts one down, sends a pass up into space along the right wing. Here comes McQuaid. Coming up the right side is O'Neill. Now it's tipped out of bounds by Fairport. McQuaid will keep possession, but there is your first stoppage under 20, and that is the mask break. Here, the first half mask break at 19:47 and counting. Your score right now in the first half of this AA semifinal: Fairport 2, McQuaid nothing. A couple of big goals in a couple of minutes span by the Fairport Red Raiders. McQuaid's got a hole to dig out of. This is a team, though, given their penchant for scoring this season, this is a team that can dig out of this hole.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it that Coach Nino Pilato's been here. 2017, I think his first or second year, took his team all the way to the States, won States. He's taken these McQuaid teams, young McQuaid teams, deep in the sectional play. He's not going to panic. He's not going to push the panic button. He's going to keep his guys cool and calm. And there's a lot of soccer left to play. You still have 59 minutes, almost 60 minutes of game to play, and we'll see what happens. But Fairport's looked good thus far, putting two in the back of the net.
A dangerous combination on offense for the Fairport Red Raiders is their dynamic midi, number 10, Jude Ruhana, and the forward, the sophomore, number 9, Miles Palmer. both of those young men off the score sheet tonight. Scoring coming from Jones and from Brunken. Brunken does have a hat trick recently, as of 3 days ago. So that kid can certainly put the ball in the goal, I should say. But so far, McQuaid has kept a couple of very dangerous players off the score sheet.
Absolutely. You talk about Brunken. He's got 6 goals and 7 assists on the year. So not only is he a goal scorer, but he can help out his teammates as well. So he's not afraid to be that guy to pass it off. But you're right. McQuaid's kept their primary goal scorers off, but it's been some of the other guys who play complementary soccer and have taken advantage of the opportunity.
McQuaid's only non-win of the season to this point was a 1-1 draw, if I should use the word draw instead of tie, with Section 6's Canisius High School. I actually attended their rival St. Joe's High School. That was my alma mater, so I don't like seeing Canisius on here. I'm supposed to say that. But a 1-1 draw is McQuaid's only non-win to this point. They got off to a flying start with a 6-1 victory over Aquinas back in the beginning of the year. Really haven't looked back. This is a hole they haven't been in before, but to our point a minute ago, this is certainly a team that can get there.
Absolutely. Since that draw, as you like to say, they've won 5 straight, including their first round victory against Gate Shiloh on Friday night, a 4-1 victory. So they certainly know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and we'll see if they can find it here in the second half of the first half.
Ball back in play, trying to find an edge down there, the McQuaid attacker. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay McQuaid's ball.
It's been interesting, at least through the first 20 minutes. Most of the game's been played at one side or the other. Not a lot of play in the middle of the field, which you see in a lot of soccer. So a lot of offensive opportunities for both teams.
Long ball into the box, sails right over everybody. The official says something was amiss. Whistle says Fairport gets the ball. Douglas will leave the ball for his defender, Colin Strack. Strack will put a right foot into one and send it up to midfield. I'm assuming. Past midfield. What a leg. Handled and sent way back the other way by Leone. Headed down, put back. McQuaid trying to find some space through the middle. A lot of touch passing right here. Up in the air, headed down by Aguirre. A couple bodies collide. McQuaid still putting the pressure on. Here's Aguirre once again trying to get around a couple of guys. Turns. Tries to get a left foot into one. Trying to get around. Puts a left foot into it. Goes off the shin of a Fairport defender. That one goes out, and we'll have McQuaid's second corner kick. Third corner kick by my count.
I just got a text message from McQuaid's principal, Mr. Adam Baber, who wanted me to inform you, Bill, that he is a Canisius alumnus, and he said, "Go Canisius, beat St. Joe's."
Go Marauders at all times there. Ball into the box. That's delightful, getting that sort of back and forth in the middle of a broadcast.
Yeah, I'm just the messenger here.
Those are two schools with a historic rivalry.
You can't say anything about me. I went to McQuaid, so.
Played up the left wing by Fairport, but right back to a McQuaid defender at midfield. Carl going for it, but with some speed coming through, and now 1-0. Here comes Fairport. A lot of speed coming from Ruhana. Puts a right foot into one, sends a good save down there by Nick Wood. Turning, firing it back into the box, but headed away by the defender from McQuaid.
Nick Wood probably didn't think he was going to be in this game tonight. You never know what could happen, and there he is, and steps up in a big way there with a huge save for the Knights.
That is a dangerous player to be looking at. 1-on-none. Jude Ruhana. Nick Wood standing in there strong, making a nice save. Ball will be thrown at midfield in front of the McQuaid bench near midfield. .5 minutes or so to play here in this first half. 2-0 Fairport, your score over McQuaid in this AA semifinal. Played into space here on the left side, right in front of us. Coming up is Troy Leo. Leo puts a foot into one, finding space for O'Neill in the left corner. Trying to get around a couple of guys. Dancing, goes off a foot and does go out of bounds. Who's going to get it? They give it to Fairport.
Fairport parents making a lot of noise. Of course, only parents allowed, 2, I believe, per player. So very sparse crowd due to COVID. If this was a home game for McQuaid, the cheering section for McQuaid would be down near the Fairport goal right now, and I'm sure they'd be making a lot of noise.
Long high ball goes right out of bounds and quickly thrown back in by Justin Carl. Now trying to get around once again, but off of a Fairport foot, and we'll throw in once again.
Sure, same could be said for the Fairport fans who show up and represent the Red Raiders. They'd be at the other end, I'm sure everyone, all of them wish they could be here.
Ball into the box, headed down. Now handled by Douglas. I've been impressed by this sparse crowd. They've been loud. Douglas boots one to midfield. Hard headed comes down from Henry McDonald. Ooh. Now a shove. We have a Fairport player down at midfield.
Still down, 45-yard line.
Played into the right wing for McQuaid. Ball goes out of bounds. Coming back behind the play, the Fairport player staying on.
McQuaid's definitely been physical. I'd say the more physical team thus far. I don't recall McQuaid getting a free kick or a direct kick at all today. Been mostly Fairport getting them, but that just goes to show you how physical McQuaid has been.
Brady Jones was the young man that took a shot back there, but he's still down there. McQuaid playing it in the corner, trying to get around Jones. Jones fighting for it. Good battle up there. Now sent back up Fairport's left wing. Controlled back into the center by Carl. Carl switching fields. Now down on the left side. Here come the Knights. Leo into the box. He's got a man. Can't quite turn the corner. A couple of defenders down there in front of O'Neill. Trying to find the handle. Still looking for space here. The Knights putting a lot of pressure on. Shot toward the net. A sliding Douglas doesn't have to touch it as it does go out of bounds.
Appears will be a corner kick as well from McQuaid.
Did touch somebody on the way. Corner kick coming for McQuaid. Into the box, line drive, headed right back by the Fairport player. Leo's boot got sent back to him. Now he's got a little space coming around. Into the box. Here's a turn and a firing shot down there from McGuire. Goes off a head, maybe a shoulder, somewhere in there.
We got a couple subs coming in. One each, one for McQuaid, one for Fairport.
Both teams making changes. McQuaid will get another corner here. McQuaid with a lot of pressure right here. Corner kick, line drive, low. Ball goes into the box. A lot of bodies down there, kicked away. Now lobbed back in. Into the box down there. Douglas just takes a hold of it.
Another corner kick for the Knights.
McQuaid with a lot of possession and movement down here in this Fairport third of the field. Another corner kick on its way. Long ball sails over the net.
And over the top crossbar there. Ever since that breakaway for Fairport where Nick Wood made that save, McQuaid's put a lot of pressure on Fairport. They've really stepped up their offensive game thus far. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net. But it might have been a wake-up call for the Knights.
That long header came off the dome of Caden Kress, who settles in at midfield as the ball sails long down the field. McDonald tries to knock it down. Into the corner, chasing for it. Speed from the Fairport attacker. Gets around, puts one into the box. Couple of bodies down there, but handled by Wood. Wood will zing one up in front of his man. Touch through midfield. Turning, sending a ball into space is Brower. Brower tries to send it to the right side. Nice little move up there. Brought into the middle. Turning around. Nice play down there by O'Hearn. Good footwork from these Knights. Long shot goes over the crossbar. To your point, Sean, from just a few moments past, it has been all McQuaid. They haven't found the back of the net in this time, but they've had all the pressure for the past few minutes. Long ball to midfield, headed back, way back into McQuaid territory. Jones giving chase again. Carl settles it back for his goaltender. Wood will just touch it out of bounds. Fairport will get a throw in.
Looks like we're going to have a sub for Fairport. I don't know if he's going to get in on this one here.
Noah Buys will come down and throw one in. Long lob into the box, headed by a McQuaid head. Wood will settle it just across the end line. Fairport will get a corner for this, won't they?
Yeah, corner kick for Fairport. Their first goal coming off a corner kick.
Ball into the box. Header attempt. Hits a defender. Kicked right back where the corner came from. That ball goes into a pile of 5 people, and you just go, what will happen here? Ball will be put in by Noah Buys once again. He will get a couple of arms into one and lob one in pretty far. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Header toward the net. Now brought out by the McQuaid defense. Here come the Knights. McGuire up to the right side. Tries to find his man, O'Hearn.
Throw in from McQuaid there. They're going moving fast here. Down the far side.
Brower puts a foot into one. Sends it toward the net. Way up. This will settle just past the end line. Douglas will get a ball. Douglas will leave it for one of his pals to put a foot into one and send this ball long up the field. Line drive kick toward midfield. Scoots all the way through. Palmer is down there on in the left corner. He'll look to put a move on. Tries. Does. Gets a little bit of space. Puts a left foot in the one. Into the box. Tipped away by a McQuaid defender. Now brought away. Trip. The
free kick for McQuaid here.
Going down hard was Troy Leo. He took a very physical play down there from Musa Meki. Wood puts a foot into one, sends it out across midfield. Played through the middle. Into space. Nice little touch pass from Leo. McQuaid trying to set up a play here coming in. Another one from Leo. Left foot into the box. Headed out by the Fairport defender. Ball still in space.
That was a great play by the Fairport defender there. Because there's a McQuaid player right behind him ready to head that one into the back of the net.
McQuaid will get another corner here. A lot of bodies in that box right here. Ball into the box. Misses a few. Attempt goes up in the air, headed down. Fairport head knocks it out. McQuaid head knocks it back. Little volleyball with the head going on here.
25 yards worth of head balls there.
That thing just kept going. Ball drops at midfield, and here come the Red Raiders back the other way. Stopped, though, by the McQuaid defense. We've said it a couple times tonight. That is their strength. Now coming up the other side from our position, Brower. Brought in looking for speed. Ball into the middle. Fairport defender getting back, just sends it past the end line.
Nobody home. Fairport complaining about. So I think they're talking to each other. I think there a little miscommunication there on the Fairport defensive end. It's going to lead to another McQuaid penalty kick. Not penalty kick, corner kick.
Corner kick coming. McQuaid controlling a lot of the action over the last 10 or 12 minutes. Ball into the box. Finds its way all the way to the ground, then booted out by the Fairport defender. Headed back in close. Trying to get a head end one was Aguirre. He gets it on his foot, tries to spin around, gets it taken away from him, but his defender falls down. Aguirre now with it.
It's going to be a kick for McQuaid there.
McQuaid will kick it on the direct kick right here. Leo put his foot into one. Sends one low, Leo does, but then it gets punched out of bounds.
Looks like it's off a Fairport player. It's going to be another corner kick for McQuaid with 4:45 left in this first half. McQuaid's still looking to find the back of the net. They've certainly had, as you said, Bill, a lot of pressure.
A lot of play in this third of the field. Lob over the box and away. Headed in by the McQuaid player. Turns around, gets a foot into one. Doesn't quite get to Douglas. Sent long out to midfield. We're settling it down there is Leon. He's the only one back there. Brought up the right wing. Here comes McQuaid. There's Brower. Brower trying to get around. Sends a ball toward the box. Gets knocked away. Turning on one, putting a right foot into one. Bounces off of a Fairport defender.
Another corner kick, I believe. I've run out of ink in my pen to note how many they've had this first half. That or I just stopped counting.
My unofficial tally is 7. I would welcome anyone at home to go back on this exceptional broadcast and prove me wrong, though. Ball into the box, headed by the McQuaid player, and in they score! Off a powerful header there from Elliot Aguirre. McQuaid is on the board.
McQuaid goal scored by number 12, Elliot Aguirre.
Yeah, the junior midfielder there finding the back of the net for the 7th time this season. I believe that leads all McQuaid goal scorers. And pretty important goal there to get with 3:39 remaining in the first half to cut the Fairport lead in half, now 2-1.
We got a good ball game here. Wood will send one out from his goaltending position for McQuaid, coming right back the other way. 2-1 your score. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Fairport on top 2-1 in this AA semifinal.
A very entertaining first half, I should say. A lot of back and forth action, a lot of opportunities for both sides.
It's been very well played. Trying to kick it away, the Fairport defender finds its way, settles its way, I should say, in front of Brower. Coming right back, Fairport's ball, and they'll try to move it quickly. The attempt goes off Leo, though. Now in front of us is Musameki. Patachi sends it to the middle. Fish sends it back the other way. Now through the middle. Nice passing here. Ruhana puts a move. Puts a left foot into one. Long shot goes wide.
A sub here for Fairport with 2:20 remaining in the first half. That's Fairport's best opportunity they've had, and it seems like 10 minutes or so. I might be exaggerating, but play on the offensive side has certainly been dominated by McQuaid for the last several minutes.
Wood puts a boot into one, lands near midfield, misses a couple guys. Tried to play it up the left side, the Red Raiders. Brought back up the right now by McQuaid. Touched and punched, I should say, out of bounds. McQuaid will throw in right in front of their bench.
One might have landed out there on Elmwood.
Touched around. Now it's taken away by Fairport. Brought through midfield. A lot of room to work with. Here comes Jones flying up this right wing. Sliding tackle comes at Jones. Knocks the ball away. Nice play down there by McDonald.
We will have a corner kick for Fairport, unless I'm mistaken here. I guess not.
I think they're saying it went off of Jones, and this ends up on Nick Wood's foot once again. That was close, though. Wood puts a foot into one. Lands in midfield. Sent right back over the top by the Fairport defender. Wood will settle it in. Wood sends one upfield one more time. Headed at midfield down there by Fish. Fish around the left side, trying to come up that left edge. Nice defensive play down there by the McQuaid player. Quick throw in down here by the Fairport player. Brunken gets pushed off the ball, though. 20 seconds to play. Wood will control, take his time. Wood sends one long toward midfield. Ball settles down. Not quite. Now it is coming back. 5 seconds. Fairport puts a foot into one, sends it beside the net. And that brings our first half to a close. Fairport with a pair of goals within a couple of minutes. About 10 or 12 minutes into this period, they get the first two. McQuaid answers back. It is 2-1 after one half of play. I think we've said it a couple times. McQuaid, the aggressors, more so in terms of minutes and possession, but right now the score, 2-1 Fairport.
Yeah, Fairport simply taking advantage of the opportunities that they have had. Two quick goals for them. First goal coming a little more than 10 minutes into the game, and the second goal, I think, not even 5 minutes later. Fairport just, while they didn't have as many chances, the chances they did have, they capitalized on them, and they capitalized on them from some of their complementary players, not the typical goal scorers that you'd see in this Red Raiders offense in this shortened season. But a 2-1 score nonetheless. For as much offense as McQuaid has had, they find themselves down one with that late goal in the first half, and it should be an entertaining second half here as the players take a 10-minute rest here for halftime, and we'll get right back to it here on Seymour Field. Looking forward to the second half here between these two rival schools who have played each other in so many different sports over the years.
We paid for a good one, and we're getting our money's worth. Once again, your halftime score here at McQuaid Jesuit High School, Fairport 2, McQuaid 1. We will break here in our halftime extravaganza here at McQuaid. Stay with us. I am Bill Smith with Sean Mullen. We are calling the action here, 2-1 your score. You are watching and listening to coverage of this game on Varsity Media.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And BJ Clark is gone for the touchdown.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming,
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
videography, and photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games,
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And BJ Clark is gone for the touchdown.
school events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming,
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
videography, and photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games,
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And BJ Clark is gone for the touchdown.
school events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's lead.
This game will be playing in the AA final coming up in a couple of days. Penfield Victor, the winner of that, will get the winner of this game. And we are underway. Fairport immediately with some pressure. You've got Ruhana coming in on the corner here, trying to find some space. Touch goes out of bounds. He just loses the handle. It'll be controlled by Nick Wood, the McQuaid keeper.
Some fancy footwork there along the side. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it in bounds.
I mentioned earlier in the pregame, he is a young man that the Hilton coach who I work with, he had very kind words to say about Ruhana. Says he's just a dynamite player. He's fun to watch. Sent back this way toward our position here. Now across midfield. Now sent into space. Here comes Caden Brunken. Brunken along the right side, trying to get around the defender. He does. Puts a right foot. Tries to put a right foot, I should say. Can't quite get there. Battle down in that right corner. A couple defenders fighting with Brunken. Trying to find space. Does put it inside. The shot goes over the crossbar.
A golden opportunity there for the Red Raiders.
Great pass. Nice precision on that ball. Screams, scorched right over that crossbar.
And you notice in these first 2 minutes here, minute and a half, a lot of pressure from Fairport, complete opposite of what we saw in the first half, where McQuaid was pressuring the Fairport defense.
Wood puts a foot into one, sends it toward midfield. Controlled by McQuaid. Flip of a kick by Brower doesn't work, and now it's coming back this way from Fairport. Played through the middle. There's Ruhana. He sends a long ball over to Jones. Jones fighting for it down there with Justin Carl. Ball will be thrown in by McQuaid. Sails over Elkins' head. Now on the right side, left side I should say from their perspective. Easier for me to say. Changing fields, here comes McQuaid through the middle. Touch pass from Colapret. Turning and going Aguirre. He sends it across field. There's Carl. Carl sends it on to the left wing. Back toward the middle. McQuaid playing a little catch here. Aguirre turns. Nice move. Looks to put a right foot in one. Goes off a defender. Controlled by the Fairport defender. Coming back with some speed. Ball goes off of a McQuaid player, and the throw will come down here for Fairport. Aiden Fish will throw it in. Looked off his first attempt there. Header goes right back to him. Let's do that again, everybody. Lobbed into play. Sent long out of there by Sam Colapret. Now out to midfield. McDonald goes up for it, heads it down. Battle for it at midfield. Here comes McQuaid. Turning and going is O'Neill. Sends the left wing. Ball toward the box, headed out of there by Brandon Fisher, the defender for Fairport. Out to midfield. McQuaid will reset everything.
McQuaid very patient here in this early going of the second half. A lot of ball movement, a lot of passing, good crisp passing.
O'Hearn back to Colapret. He'll send it all the way back to Wood. Wood will put his left foot into it. Send it up. Here's McDonald once again. McDonald tries to send it up the left wing. Patient control here by McQuaid. Turning, going. Nice little move there. Trying to get inside. Aguirre couldn't quite get there. Punched out of there by Fairport. All the way back to Wood once again.
Almost reminds you of a hockey team on a power play. Going back to the goalie, reset. And here they come again. Of course, no power play here. It's 11 on 11 right now.
Not as many voices in the crowd yelling shoot either. Here comes Grayson Elkins through the middle.
Could be as cold, though.
Very true. Blake Patachi fighting down there for Fairport. He wins that battle. Fairport's goalkeeper will send one in, Beg Douglas. Douglas leave one down there for his defender. Long drive goes toward midfield. Headed down by Aguirre. Turning and going, trying to send it into space. Couldn't quite release Andrew O'Hearn. And now Fairport coming back through the middle. Nice turn to maintain possession there by Musa Meki. Crossing fields. Touched out of the air by Brunken. Chasing it is Jones. Can't quite beat Carl to it, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Fairport's ball. Five and a half in. We still got a 2-1 score. Fairport on top of McQuaid. A lot of early pressure in this half from Fairport. And as I say that, McQuaid takes it and sends it up the left wing. Here come the Knights. Booted through midfield by Kuchera. Trying to release his man inside to Ruhana. Couldn't quite get it there. Midfield, lot of space for Aguirre. He sends it wide for O'Hearn. O'Hearn going into the right corner, looking to put a move around. He does. He gets through a couple defenders. Nice move from O'Hearn. O'Hearn tries to send it inside. Goes off a defender. We're going to have a corner kick for McQuaid.
I can attest that this is the first of the second half for the Knights. Their first corner kick, that is.
He's not the best color man in the business for nothing, folks. On top of the numbers. Corner kick coming from McQuaid. Puts a foot into one. Into the box. Sailing really wide. Headed away by the Fairport defender. Giving chase down there is Brunken. Wide pass. McQuaid with some space. Aguirre sends one wide once again. Here's O'Hearn. O'Hearn again in the corner. Sends it into the box. Low one. Controlled by a Fairport defender and sent away. Nice little touch play right there. Here comes Fairport. Fancy little pass by Ruhana. Now quickly the ball finds its way to him. He puts a move. Long ball to the right side. He's looking for Jones. He's got him. Jones fought down there by Carl. Ball goes out of bounds off of Jones' foot. McQuaid will throw it in front of their bench. Ball bounces all the way past the Fairport defender, who turns and just scorches one out of bounds.
Another one onto Elmwood Avenue there.
That time there was a car passing. That was dangerous. Ball will be put in right at the edge of the Fairport third. McQuaid with a throw in. Long overhead huck coming into the box. Headed farther into the box and headed out of there by a Fairport player. Trying to lob one over anybody was Alkins. Couldn't quite get it there. Now a header inside. Goes right to Ben Douglas. High pop finds its way to midfield. And here comes the dangerous Ruhana. Ruhana turning, sending one in with his right foot. Can't quite find his man. Now it's taken away by McQuaid. Aguirre. Here's Aguirre. Sends it along the right side. Can't quite find it either. Here's O'Hearn. O'Hearn. Inside for Aguirre. Aguirre trying to put a move on. Sends one off his left foot inside. A lot of space down there for his man. Now headed away by a Fairport defender. Sent to midfield. Line drive finds its way out through everybody. Nickwood will collect this and settle everything down. His boot goes all the way back the other way. Long ball play from both teams right now. Inside, here's Brower. Trying to turn. He finds inside for O'Hearn. Turns, fires just wide. O'Hearn created a real nice chance for himself there. Found a little bit of space to put a screaming right foot that goes wide.
Certainly the best scoring opportunity of the second half here as we approach 10 minutes in with 30 minutes to play, just over 30 minutes to play. McQuaid continuing the pressure that they have from the first half.
Sent toward the middle of the field once again, headed down by a McQuaid player, controlled by Atkins. Alkins, I should say. My apologies, young man. Sent back toward the McQuaid D. Switching fields. Here comes Pratt. Slide tackle from a Fairport player. No call down here. Still controlled by McQuaid, though. Finding his way into space is O'Hearn. He gets a ball taken away from him. Ball way up in the air and then headed back down there by McDonald. A little more head volleyball going on down here.
I think the record was 6 in the first half that we had. 6 heads in a row. Not quite that many this time.
That was only 3 or 4. And the stoppage, we're going to send it back this way with Fairport.
You can tell it's a tight game. The parents are starting to speak up a little bit more.
29 minutes left. We still got a 1-goal game. Fairport leads McQuaid 2-1 here in this AA sectional semifinal. Carried out to midfield. Here comes Aguirre. He sends it long pass, finds its way to Brower. Outside O'Hearn. Trying to put a move. Can't quite get around Musameki. Nice shot.
A little too far. Led his man a little too far on that one, Bill.
Douglas settles it. We'll put a boot into one and send it out of there. Header goes out of bounds. Fairport will throw it in. Start this thing up one more time. Thrown in. Battle along the far edge from where we are standing. Now headed backwards. Kicked out of bounds by Kevin Clifford. Must have touched a McQuaid player on the way, thrown in by Fairport. Another one out of bounds. This one looks like it's going to go back to McQuaid. Choppy play here for the last few seconds.
Our first substitution of the second half, looks like. Substitution on McQuaid's end here.
O'Hearn's going to go off for a breather. He has been just burning it up and down this field. He gets a well-earned breather. Attempt to get a ball out to midfield from the Fairport defense, but controlled by McQuaid. Brought back in. Here comes Alkins. Sends it out wide. Long ball inside. Lob goes out of bounds.
Some good hustle there by McQuaid's athletic director, kicking the ball back into play there. Fast as I've seen him move in a while.
That's commitment. Ball floats out over midfield, headed down by McDonald. Control once again by McQuaid through the middle, but finds its way to the foot of Aiden Fish. He sends it out to midfield. Control done here by Musameki. Battle at midfield. Kuchera sends one through. Now a slide tackle up here by Brunken. Knocks his man down, but McQuaid hangs on. Brought back by the Knights. Into space. Here's Aguirre. He puts a move on. Tries to get through a couple of guys, and it's punched out of there. Back out to midfield. A lot of black shirts. Sent in, then kicked long out of there by Brandon Fisher for Fairport. Putting a foot into one was McDonald. He puts one up the left side. Here comes McQuaid coming up that way. Trying to switch field to the Knights, but it goes off a Fairport defender. Long shot goes across midfield. Headed right back on the other side. A little bit of physicality goes to Fairport's way this time. They will take the ball right around midfield. We've kind of gotten away from the aggressive flow from both teams. We've seen a lot of choppiness along the side and through midfield. Not a lot of chances since that real good one over at this end for McQuaid.
Yeah, what I've really noticed is it's kind of obvious. Fairport's playing with the lead, and they're going to rely on their defense. It almost appears like they're happy to just kick it out and have McQuaid reset every time, and not allow McQuaid to really get anything going. They're putting 6, 7, 8 guys in the box, and then they have another 2, 3 guys right there, and McQuaid's going to have to get through all 11 guys if they want to tie this one up.
Long floating ball back out toward midfield. Knocked down by Brower. More battling at midfield. Aguirre puts it into space. Here comes Colapret. He puts a foot into one. Touched by O'Neill. McQuaid working it through midfield. A lot of space down here to work with in the middle of the field. As my tag team partner just pointed out, a lot of white shirts back deep for Fairport. Now coming out, here come the Red Raiders. Brunken looking for a little room on the left side. He tries to go around a man, gets knocked down on a slide tackle.
And here's Fairport, another opportunity. They've been very opportunistic. They haven't had as many scoring opportunities as McQuaid, but they've taken advantage of them when they've had them. And here's another golden opportunity for them with a free kick from, looks like that 25, 26 yards out.
Rahana and Clifford both down there. We've seen both of these young men drive the ball with some power today, so this really could be either guy. My bet here now is Rahana. Put the foot into one right into the box. On a shot, he scores! That long drive in by Ruhana got put into the back of the net by Fairport. 3-1 your score now over McQuaid.
It looked like Nick Wood had it, but it scooted right by him. I think it was redirected. Yeah.
Trying to get final word on who touched that in. Coming right back, though, comes Fairport. Here they come. Little bit of space. Long ball goes right to Wood, putting his foot into one with Musa Meki.
And it's really been all McQuaid on the offensive side this second half, and Fairport just took advantage once again of the opportunity. The free kick from 26 yards out, and they're able to put it home, and all of a sudden it's gone back up to a 2-goal lead for the Red Raiders.
Garrett Kuchera was down there for the Red Raiders. He looked to get that last touch. Brought back now by McQuaid once again. Edge of the third. Trying to find a little bit of room down there was Aguirre. He couldn't quite find a header. It goes right to Douglas. Douglas will play it away now with a 3-1 lead. Ball floats over midfield. Now here come the Raiders up the right side.
Fairport goal scored by number 21, Garrett Kuchera. With one assist awarded to number 10, Jude Ruhana.
Kuchera from Ruhana. The voice from above tells us. Sent away by the Red Raiders right here. McQuaid will get a throw in. 21 and change to play here. 3-1 your score. Fairport on top. Long throw in by Sam Colapret. Goes past the end line. Douglas, the keeper, will put one in.
Well, McQuaid wants to get back in this. They're going to have to continue the pressure they have put on Fairport throughout much of this game. But Fairport's defense has been up to the task, and I think they're really going to sit back now and rely on that defense and, again, just take advantage of those opportunities that they do have, and they have capitalized on thus far tonight with 3 goals.
Played off a foot and then off a shin. Here's Aguirre. He can't quite turn around and get through the defense. Still controlled by McQuaid, however. Long ball out to center. Now knocked down. Trying to turn inside is Brower. Brower's got Kress inside. Now out wide for O'Neal. O'Neal turns, puts a left foot into one, headed down by a defender. Long shot goes up and over both crossbars and out of play. Was not too long off of the comment we were making about less chances, less smooth play, and there it was. That long free kick finds its way off another foot in the back of the net.
Now you see it here. You got 1, 2, 3, 7 Fairport defenders, we'll call them, with 2 black shirts for McQuaid. It's 7 on 2. I don't think you're going to win that very much.
We're at the second half mask break, a scheduled pause here under 20 minutes to play. And a little more than halfway through this halfway through this half, forget the sport I'm calling, we've got a 3-1 score. Fairport capitalizing on that free kick down here off that physical play just before that. McQuaid had been putting on a lot of pressure, especially the latter half of the first half. The beginning moments of this half had been Fairport's way, then it kind of been back and forth. As far as momentum, which you can believe in Uncle Mo all you want or not, however you want to say that, Fairport right now, it seems, has all of it.
Yeah, if you're one to believe in momentum, McQuaid seemed to have it going into the half there, cutting the lead in half by 2-1, but they continue to pressure, and Fairport with the opportunity, and they capitalized on it, much like they did in the first half, and give the Fairport defense credit. They have not allowed much in terms of great opportunities for McQuaid's offense to get in the back of the net to try to score. Now cut this lead in half again, and we'll see what the last 19:29. They just took 20 seconds off the clock. 19:29 left in one of these teams' seasons. Right now, it's McQuaid's who hangs in the balance. As you mentioned, a trip to the finals, which both these teams met in the finals last year, and were co-champions last year. So we'll see what happens here over the last 19:29, but certainly Fairport in the driver's seat.
And the winner of this will find their way to playing the winner of Penfield and Victor, which right now, in the first half with a few minutes to play, Penfield leads 3-0.
Well, Penfield is the #1 seed, and they are undefeated. They've had a great year, obviously. When I saw McQuaid was the #2 seed after a 8-0-1 season, I said, boy, somebody must have had a good season, and certainly that is Penfield, and they're living up to that #1 billing right now. Let's see if McQuaid, as the #2 seed, can make a comeback here, or if it'll be Fairport, the #3 seed, who will face off against that Penfield Victor winner.
That is a very, very good 10-0 Penfield team. The soccer coaches and people that I know in the area, they all say that team is very, very good. The winner of this game is going to have a daunting task in front of them, but we've got 19 and a half minutes here to play. This game's not over. Thrown in by McQuaid, and we are back underway here. Headed down, little scrum. Trying to put a foot into one down there was McDonald. One off a defender. This is McDonald. Now lobbed in, header toward the net, goes quite wide. Now controlled in the other end. Tried to control, I should say, down there was Noah Buys for Fairport. Ball goes past the end line. It'll be kicked into play by Douglas. Or one of Douglas's pals. Long lining shot into midfield. That one handled by McDonald.
Another free kick here for Fairport, as one of their players was upended there about the 40-yard line, 45-yard line.
Physical play at midfield gives Fairport a kick right here. Putting a foot into one, long drive from Clifford. Floats in off of a McQuaid head, back out. Now lobbed in off a foot, trying to chase it down is Brunken. Both players go down in a heap at that end. I believe we had both #3s down there, Brunken and Carl. Nick Wood will put a foot into one. He sends it out toward midfield. Headed back. Now kicked into space. Couple of defenders there, a couple of white shirts. It'll be sent way wide, and we'll have a throw in from McQuaid. Getting there on quite a clip there was Sam Colapret, not wasting any time. Lobbing throw goes in, missed on the header. Now headed back out by the Fairport defender. Up in the air, couple of feet, couple of heads down there. Bouncing around, turning, couldn't quite find it. Was Brower. Brower, long drive, goes over the crossbar. Fairport will restart it one more time down here near the goal box. Long drive out toward the right side of midfield. Floating there, a couple of heads bouncing off of there. It'll be Fairport's ball. Blake Patacci will put it in. Bounces off of a couple guys. Now it'll be McQuaid's ball one more time. They'll throw it in and quickly, trying to get back here with some energy. Ball goes out of bounds at midfield. Once again, McQuaid very quick on the throw-in. Long one comes down. Trying to turn. Couldn't quite find some room down there. The McQuaid attacker.
Once again, you got 10 Fairport guys all around the goal, ready to defend.
There's a shot, goes off a leg. Not quite finding the handle. Down here's Andrew O'Neill. He's looking to find some space. Left foot into one, into the box, headed out by a Fairport defender. Now controlled, long shot, settles right into Ben Douglas. He will punt one out to midfield. Controlled right back by a McQuaid player who bounces it around. O'Neill can't quite find it, but then it gets punted away by Elkins. He finds his man to Gira. Gira puts it wide. Shot attempt inside, goes off a Fairport defender, but still controlled another one. There's a left foot, goes right into Douglas. A lot of steam on that one, low shot. Aguirre, the leading scorer on this team throughout the season, trying to make something happen right now with his team down by 2. McQuaid player gets knocked down at midfield. There's another shot from Aguirre. Low bouncing shot. Couldn't quite get handled clean by the Fairport goalie, Douglas. Ball goes past the touchline. We get a corner kick here for McQuaid.
Well, here's an opportunity. Can the Knights capitalize on a mistake? A minor mistake by the Fairport goal defender.
Floating ball goes over everybody and across the touchline.
The answer to that question is no, not that time.
We got a quick answer there, didn't we?
Tell you, I'm sure if you're a McQuaid player with that 14:20 left, the time is going away about as fast as you could possibly imagine. If you're a Red Raider, that clock can't move fast enough.
Long drive out into midfield. Here comes Fairport's Fish. He tries to punch it through the middle of the field, but it comes right back with McQuaid. Touch pass from Kress. Kress sends it across field. Long shot goes over the crossbar. Right now it is find space, get the ball on the net from McQuaid.
And there's not a lot of space to be had as soon as you get inside that 20-yard line there. Fairport is just collapsing on all of McQuaid's offensive players, all of their players, and it's just not going to let. They're doing their best not to let anything through, and they're doing a heck of a job right now.
Jones can't control it on the far end of the field from where we stand. McQuaid will throw it in. Controlled by McDonald. He knocks it down. Turning his Aguirre. Nice little move to get the ball around a couple defenders. Tries to work it through a couple more guys. Nice individual effort there. Here's a ball into the middle. Into the corner now here. Turning, putting a move around, trying to get around a couple defenders. The Fairport defender controls it, sends it out toward the end of their third. Here's a shot from Aguirre, goes off a defender. Here's O'Neill. O'Neill trying to work around his man. Pushes it into space, now kicked out of bounds by the Fairport player. That's Clifford. O'Neill, not wasting any time, gets in, throws it up in the air. That ball bounces off of, I believe, a McQuaid body. This will be a goal kick. Clock continues to tick down. 12 and change here. 3-1 your score. Fairport over McQuaid. Out toward midfield goes over O'Neill. Here comes Brunken for Fairport. Brunken inside, trying to find his man. Couldn't quite find release there with Kuchera. Jones on the other side. Battling for it. He gets it inside here once again for Jones. Here's Rohana. Trying to dance around a couple of people. Brunken can't quite get a foot into one. 3-on-3 battle over there once again. Brunken and Carl. Now a couple bodies collide and go down. No stoppage. McQuaid clears it down that line. Now brought up the left side. Coming through center and falling down was Brower. Can see the intensity here, picking up from both sides. Long drive of a shot. Wide of the net. Another goal kick for the Red Raiders. Long drive coming toward midfield. Floats in the air. Guerra knocks it down with a head. Punching it inside. Here come the Knights. Pushing it into space, but a lot of Fairport defenders down there.
Nobody home there for the Knights. I think Aguirre there was expecting one of his teammates to be breaking to the corner there, and nobody home.
A lot of patience on this goal kick right here. There is no need for speed right here. Fairport using as much clock as they can. Ball booted out toward midfield, knocked down by a head from the McQuaid player down there. That's Carl. Pushing and shoving in front of the Fairport bench. Ball goes out of bounds off of a McQuaid leg. Long toss headed down. Now here comes McQuaid back the other way.
Great steal there.
There's a nice play coming back the other way. Here comes Brunken. Brunken gets knocked down, taken down. Little pushing and shoving going on right here, and a card being shown to Elliot Aguirre. He gets a yellow card.
McQuaid yellow card assessed to number 12, Elliot Aguirre.
Aguirre on a very physical play down there, and then a little pushing and shoving after the fact. Not sure if it was the first tackle or the little scrum after. Either way, he gets a yellow card. He goes off for a bit. Fairport will put a foot into one. There's a long drive that goes all the way to Wood. He settles it. Low angling shot from Clifford went right to him. Long ball down, floats downfield. Headed down right in front of the attacker down there from McQuaid. Right in front of us, Jake Leone tries to get into one. Falling down hard is Caden Kress. He's right back up. Back is McDonald. McDonald tries to float one over. Tried to find it into space for his man O'Neill. Played out of there by Brady Jones. Nice move to find some space was O'Hearn. Floating ball toward the end of the Fairport defense. Now kicked up the left side. Fairport in control. A little tripping move. A nice little play to recover right there. Brunken with a nice little play. Ball ends up off of his foot though, and here comes McQuaid back the other way. Leone throws it in. There's a long ball from Kress. Kress trying to find one inside. This ball's going to roll right to Ben Douglas. Douglas puts a boot into one. It heads up, floating toward midfield. Got a stoppage down here. The officials coming together.
I think I heard yellow card.
There was
And it is.
a card being shown to the McQuaid bench. I'm not sure whether that was to the coaching staff or a player. Something at the far end of the field from our position, but nonetheless, the official has shown a yellow card to the McQuaid sideline. Throw in from Fairport. Sails over, hits a McQuaid head, now knocked down. Battling down there is Grayson Elkins. Now in deep. Ball will trickle over to Wood, who gets moving quick to get it out of there. Long punt from Wood goes downfield. Headed down by Aiden Fish. Here's Ruhana trying to find a little bit of space around the defense. Nice move at midfield. Almost with the release pass right there from Kuchera. There's Brady Jones in front of us. He sends one back, using his defense. Lob over the top. Jones trying to get some speed going in front. Jones battling down here with O'Neal from McQuaid. Played back. Here's O'Neal coming through. Kicked away down there by Aiden Fish. Settled back for McQuaid, Justin Carl.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes left here in McQuaid's season. They're going to need 2 goals. They got to really start pushing more so than they have this entire game, really.
Trying to put one into space for O'Neal. Just can't quite get there. Goes out of bounds. Long lobbing throw in from Fairport, heads toward midfield. Couple of headers over Caden Brunken. Now here's Brunken finding his way into space. He's got a little bit of room. He puts a left foot that goes right into Wood's chest. Nice chance for Caden Brunken. Long punted ball up toward midfield. Once again, headed out of the air. This ball goes off a Fairport head. McQuaid will throw it in down here to our right. Crowd coming alive in support of the lead and in the comeback. Bravo put a long lobbing throw in. Trying to turn, can't quite find it, sent out by Fairport. A couple of players battling down for it. Coming out of there was O'Neal. O'Neal across for his man, McDonald. McDonald changes field, hit Carl. Carl trying to send it to the left edge. Battling down at the other side of the field is Jones. Correction, that's Rihanna.
We're under 5 minutes to play now. Fairport content to just take their time on every throw in, every pass, everything they have going on now.
There is no reason to not be patient if you're in their position right here. This has been a series of throw-ins that have been headed out of bounds sequentially about 7 or 8 yards farther up the field. Back through midfield. Coming off the left side, left-footed kick goes right to Ben Douglas. Long but nice chance there for the Knights. Control the midfield once again by O'Neal. McQuaid looking to set something up here. Long ball over the top from O'Neal. Settles in to Douglas. Throw in from McQuaid, far side of the field from where we are. McDonald sends it right back. Long ladder does find its way inside. Pushed off wide for O'Neal. O'Neal tries to lob one in. Another one that ends up going right to the goalkeeper. He's handled the ball a lot in these last 2 minutes, but not one of these chances has really been all that dangerous.
I venture to guess he hasn't broken much of a sweat these last couple minutes.
Off wide once again for O'Neal. O'Neal sees it, goes off his foot. That'll be Fairport's throw-in. Long throwing out to midfield. 25 and 25 fighting each other down here. McDonald and Musameki.
Knights are going to need a lot of help right now. A little bit of magic if they're going to come back and tie this game up in the next last 2.5 minutes here.
Fairport keeping everybody back. Inside their third, they've got just about every player on the field. Here's Aguirre looking to create something. He sends one wide off to the left side. Long shot gets knocked down. Giving chase down there is Justin Carl. Sent back from McQuaid. He'll send it forward. He being Leone. McDonald wide. Musameki, the only pressure at midfield from Fairport. Lobbing shot finds its way into Douglas's hands once again. .25-25 battle once again. Ooh, dangerous little look there, but coming down with it okay. Here comes Aguirre again. Aguirre turns, puts a left foot into one. Low bouncing shot, and Douglas handles it. 90 seconds left here in this second half. Fairport 2, McQuaid 1. Fairport 3, McQuaid 1. My apologies. 2-goal lead for Fairport is what I was going for there. Ball out of bounds right in front of us. I'm sorry, a kick awarded. Boot goes into the box, headed out of there by a Fairport player. Leone had put his foot into one. Still just making a wall down here. Fairport lobbed up, sent inside. Douglas comes way up in his position, takes it out of the air. We are under a minute here. The Fairport faithful can start to feel it. Bounces toward midfield. Justin Carl tried to handle it, but here comes Fairport back the other way. Fairport trying to set up a 2-on-1 here. Couple of bodies go down. You've got a Fairport player feeling it at the other end. 20 seconds to play here. Still got a Fairport player down at his end. Now the ball gets booted out of bounds right around midfield. Throw in will come, but we've only got 3 seconds here. Turning and putting a foot into one. And that'll do it, folks. Your final score, and on their way now to the sectional final. The Fairport Red Raiders defeat the McQuaid Knights 3-1 here on a cold, chilly night at McQuaid High School. McQuaid had their waves. They certainly had their pressure. Fairport, though, those 3 goals, that could not be overcome.
Fairport was very opportunistic. They took advantage of what was given to them, and they simply played their game in the second half, not allowing McQuaid to capitalize on any of the opportunities they did have. McQuaid certainly had plenty of, spent a lot of time in Fairport's end of the field. They just couldn't capitalize on anything, and kudos to Fairport for not only taking advantage of those opportunities, but also keeping McQuaid shut out in the second half. And aside from that 1 goal right before halftime, it would have been a shutout for Fairport's goalie. And they're back in the finals once again, the sectional finals for a second straight year, looking to win a second straight sectional championship for the town of Fairport.
Right up until Fairport sort of clamped down their defensive line in the last 10 or 12 minutes, and you just saw all their bodies back there in waves, just getting in the way of everything. This was a very loose, very open, even game, really, at both sides, despite the fact that Fairport had a lead for the bulk of the game. This was really evenly played throughout all of this. Was a fun soccer game to watch.
It really was. A lot of back and forth. A lot of soccer games you'll see played in the middle of the field, but not this one. Fairport with their speed took advantage of those opportunities. McQuaid unable to capitalize. Although I will say, as I saw the time running out here in the final game here for the McQuaid seniors, obviously, this being 2020, they're lucky to have a season. And I know it's never easy to lose. It's never easy to lose in sectionals, of course. For some of these guys, they won't be playing soccer again for McQuaid, but fortunate enough to have it a season. And we can be thankful for that, because we didn't know if that was going to happen. And Congrats to Fairport, who will play at least one more game. I don't know if they're going to have a state tournament or not, but I don't think so. But they have one more game on their docket, whether it be Penfield or Victor. It should be a great matchup for them later on this week.
Quick shout out to Nick Wood, Justin Carl, Grayson Alkins, Emmett Devosic, Wilson Brower, Sam Colapret, Shane Fetzner, Henry McDonald, Caden Kress, Ryan Gallisdorfer. Those are the seniors I have on my list. Gentlemen, this was your last high school soccer game. Be proud of what you've done. Good luck going forward, and good luck to Fairport in the next game.
Absolutely. Again, congrats to both teams on a good season. Fairport obviously one more game, but McQuaid a tough pill to swallow, it being their first loss of the season. Unfortunately, had to come in sectionals, and that's just the way the ball bounces tonight. And Fairport was the better team. So we'll see how they do against, again, either Penfield, who was winning 3-0 at the half, or Victor in the Class AA Finals.
Once again, your final score: Fairport 3, McQuaid 1. For Sean Mullen, Sean, good job. Good having you here. I am Bill Smith. We are signing off here from McQuaid. We will see you in the sectional final, everyone. Good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you later.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Coach Greg Murphy. There's you. What a move! And the foul.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast meet.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you. What a move! And the foul.